Welcome to the Daily Review. This is Fed Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CM Trading. And today is August 22nd, 2024, and today is Thursday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, the Japanese yen continues to strengthen. But first, looking at today's major economic events. So we've got a bunch of flash manufacturing and services PMI numbers coming out. Now, starting at 9:15 from France, 9:30 from Germany, 10:30 from the United Kingdom, and lastly from the United States at 3:45. Now, looking at the market, starting out with the Forex symbols, the euro pauses while the British pound continues to strengthen and breaks out. And lastly, looking at the Turkish lira, making new record lows. Now, looking at the indices, the Dow Jones and the Nasdaq remain unchanged. Looking at commodities, oil looks very weak on support. And as we shift over to the stocks, Cisco continues to climb after that gap up. And lastly, looking at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin remains unchanged. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go. First with the Euro USD. Now we're pausing here. We're not just retracing, we're pausing. When the euro pushed higher, starting with a monthly chart, let's take a look at it. When the euro pushed higher to 1137, it pushed even higher to about 60 something. And if we look at a daily chart, if we jump to that, you can see right there that it's making a double top. Now, this is really a very important point. Did it break higher to make a double top, or is it going to sustain it? Now, and this is why I specifically skipped over the weekly chart. And if we do look at the weekly chart, we're looking at it right now, it's above its 200-day moving average. Will it sustain it? That's the question. And if not, then it's going to retrace further down as it did before, as it was like a push-up to sell off later. Now, looking at the GBP USD, it got stronger. Finally played catch-up and sustaining itself at 130.93. You can see it right there. And if we look at the Japanese yen, getting stronger versus the dollar as well. So does that mean that the U.S. markets are going to go higher? That's the question as we're kind of just digesting this. The U.S. markets have done nothing yesterday. I'm going to take a look at that in just a second. But first, let's take a look at crude oil. On its supporters level, looking very weak and may break down even lower. So this is one to keep on the radar as a possibly breakout. Now, I did skip over the Turkish lira. Turkish lira making new record lows, 33.90. And if we were to short this about a year ago in May, you would have made a lot of money, okay? And just short and hold. I mean, this thing is just, it paused for a while and looked like it was going to get stronger, but it didn't. And it's made new record lows. And ostensibly, nothing's changed in Turkey. They still have the same regime. They still have the same prime minister. So nothing's going to change it until something actually changes the element. And we're going to see new record lows for Turkish lira quite again. Now, jumping into the U.S. markets, all right, here we go. The Dow Jones did nothing yesterday, and neither did the Nasdaq, okay? Just hanging on to its gains. And this is also after yesterday's FOMC meeting minutes, which was no surprise, okay? There was no surprises there, so the market just took it in tandem. Now, jumping into the individual stocks, Cisco, okay, which is a bellwether. Cisco and Intel are really super important companies above its 200-day moving average on a daily gap and go, and continues to go. Now, $50-ish is a point of contention for Cisco. If you look at a weekly chart, you can see that has been a resistance-ish area for quite some time, between 50 and 51.95. So keep that in mind. This might be the end of the move, and we may retrace here. But if it continues going higher, well, guess what? It's going to go back to its 64-ish level, and that's something to consider moving forward. Now, looking at Microsoft, stalled. Stocks are not really trading. To tell you the truth, it's been a very quiet week, and that's understandable. It's the middle of August towards the end, and sometimes they peter out. Now, lastly, looking at Bitcoin, unchanged here, still trading in a range. Not much of a change at 60,000-ish level. Okay, so just keep it on your radar until it does break out. Okay, but there's other things to focus on like oil. This is Fed Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.